Serba Dinamik was established in 1993 under the leadership of Datuk Muhammad Abdul Karim Abdullah, together with the other founding fathers. With his vast experience in his leadership as CEO and the company's senior management, Serba Dinamik is an international energy services group providing integrated engineering solutions to various industries. To further strengthen its position in the market, Serba Dinamik IT or SDIT was developed in 2011, initially as a supportive initiative in the form of IT solutions, but quickly evolved into Serba Dinamik's engineering products and services. Today, SDIT is a MSC Status Company and has been recognized for its research, development and commercialization of various software applications.
Serba Dinamik IT solution, actually it was being started on 2010, but I was actually started my career with Serba Dinamik on 2009. So we had but I know that's occurring quite a long time back. So actually we're having an interesting chat that he wants to make an IT-based company. It's a vision. Also it's a vision. So he said like we want to have a technological-based company. So that idea have to started something like 2008 and we start to build the company on 2010. So when I started the company, it's just only 3 people. It started with 3 people. As myself and 2 more programmers, we started to develop into it. And we got an MSC status in 2011, something around 2011 we got the MSC status. So once we got into MSC status, then we slowly start to develop systems into it and start to grow. And currently, you look at it, 2018 is concerned, we have been grown tremendously. And right now I think I have around more than 70 over staffs around, and we have been placed globally everywhere into it right now, and we have then acquired a company from India with 1,000 staffs, and I have a research center back in IITM. We have affiliation research with the Stanford University, and we had an office in Serba Dinamik IT AI Incorporate in Palo Alto in Silicon Valley. So it's a very tremendous journey. So and as we are growing, I look at it. This is actually the beginning of again a beginning. I would say it's again a beginning to another level of Serba Dinamik IT solution as a group of companies. It will go as a group of companies actually. So that's how it is, and we have been now flourish with products. I would say we started as B2B, but we are now very much into B2C. And developing apps and all this kind of technological innovation. And one interesting option that we creates this AR, VR and mixed reality related stuffs. And we have almost like 15 over staffs who developing this virtual reality and mixed reality and AR kind of technological developments.
With the continuous success of Serba Dinamik, SDIT blossomed into becoming the main departments, offering impactful and impressive products to the market. The application that has been the pride and joy of SDIT is the Managed Care Organisation Services that's registered under the Ministry of Health Malaysia, which acts as a service manager and has other functions relevant for businesses. Specifically, SDIT develops transaction management services between panel clinics and their corporate clients through My Third Party Administration or MyTPA applications. MyTPA operates through web-based database and software with over 1,400 panel clinics nationwide. Here, the panels and patients from corporate companies and government agencies can obtain relevant data such as treatment records, medication prescription, claims, and many more.
When we sit down, our strategic team sit down and look into the entire operations of Serba Dinamik, we are saying that we have lost one very big opportunities from the prospect or from the customer, which Serba Dinamik has not been looking into it. So looking at that prospect, we sit down and see what can be done so that we can get a certain portions of this customer. So MyTPA plays that role to capture the people who are circled in the health environment. Involve three parties, which is Serba Dinamik IT Solutions, organizations that produce this particular creative apps, I would say. And we also have clinics who register to become the member. And we have the customer, which is requiring the service of the clinic. So we come in to become a third-party administrator. So the question will be, why is this required? Because a lot of clinics, they falls under the SME category, and they do not have really a financial stamina to wait for the payment to come in from the customer. So we come in to mitigate this situation so that there are terms of payment when the customer has not paid the clinic, we come in to forward that payment over to the clinic, so that they have the necessary liquidity or the cash to run their clinic operations. And if the third party pay late, there will be penalty in terms of a certain percentage of financial additional money that they have to pay. So that will be the returns to Serba Dinamik. But it is not so looking at that perspective only. Serba Dinamik, or in our subsidiary call it as SDIT, Serba Dinamik IT, has the main goals besides all these middle or third-party administrator role. We will have a big database of patients and so on, which will be quite useful in terms for Serba Dinamik to introduce other services and so on. And at the same time, we are also working with pharmaceutical licensor, where they have the license to supply, buy and supply medicines. So MyTPA will have this component which they can offer it over to the clinic, meaning to say that a more competitive price of medicines to be supplied over to the respective clinic. So this will be I would say, massive opportunities of supply and sell from the perspective of the medicine. So I would say that if we look from all these angles, it's a win-win-win situation. Win for SDIT, win for the clinic, and also a win for the customer itself. Yeah? So generally, that is what the MyTPA is.
MyTPA objectives include access to profiles of patients, clients and clinics, employee medical claim info and balance status check, personal healthcare programs, online patient data management for panel clinics, consultation and prescription flexibility for patients, online marketplace for clinical and medical supply, providing health and medicine information, customers' feedback, and GPS direction map guide. Back with us on In the Forefront. This time we explore into one of Serba Dinamik's subsidiaries, SDIT Digital Platforms product referred to as MyTPA. We now know that MyTPA's function helps to optimize manpower, create a manageable plan for overall staff health, and to detect fraudulent claims. It is also a great benefit as an intermediary between the insurance provider and the policyholder in processing claims and settlements. But you may ask, why should MyTPA be the ultimate solution to clinics, companies and government departments? What is its speciality and how does it really function?
MyTPA is called third-party administrator. It is something to do with MCOs, so medical care organization. Because when you look at the employers or maybe look at the panel clinics, and it is like an interlink between them. So instead of people go for a clinic, especially employer or employees goes for the clinic, there is normally a normal traditional methods of doing claims and all this kind of stuff. So what MyTPA does is an automation process. So we have like 500 over panel clinics into this our program, and we have almost like now have 3 over hospitals and things into it. So that means we also have almost right now around 3,000 over employees into the our system. So it basically what it try to do is they can go to any of the clinics. And they can able to scan this QR code, so it automatically do the registration. So once they scan, the employee knows that your employee in this particular clinic is not well, and the MCs will be automatically sent from there. And he also have a history about the balance, how much they can still use, how much they spend, and all this information will be provided using the MyTPA. The problem when you look at it normally, when an employee go to a clinic, he has first of all the whole thing is he just go, maybe you just imagine that he goes every time as a fever and he go and take a tablet in this clinic. So it is basically like he have no idea why he has got his fever, and he keep on sending an MC. An employee have no idea why this particular employee is keep on getting sick. So this system can address it to the employer. There is something to be attention to this particular employee because he is getting sick often. So he need more attention instead of normal clinic he is going in. So this is the first point of address. And another problem statement I will see that normally the current process, the systems currently exist. When the employee goes into the particular clinic, he have no idea how much he can spend. So he have no idea. So once he did like, okay, you have been this much of bill, he have no sufficient credit. So he has to pay from the hand. So but using this system, in the mobile application, he can able to know how much credit he has it. And another important thing about this is also it can avoid the fake MCs kind of things as well. So you know already why this guy keep on going to this particular clinic. So maybe he gets an MC or something like that. So it is a very, very systematic monitoring of especially the health related issues for the employers. This is the current problems can be overcome by MyTPA.
What about the perspectives of medical practitioners like private clinics that may face issues with company panels or the antiques of third-party administrators?
Most of the time at the moment we are facing problem with panels that their payment actually quite in terms of payment, sometimes they pay us after 3 months. That's the problem that we are facing with most of the panels actually. We are talking about panels or third-party administrator, especially those big third-party administrator. That's why for most of the clinic, after we bill to them, we need to wait until 3. In fact, some of them until 4 to 5 months or so only we can get back our money. That's the issue. Actually, because some of them they really put for example, certain margin or certain price for certain drugs that we need to prescribe. That's why we don't feel like freely we can prescribe what we want, because for us, some of us, we have our own opinion to prescribe certain things for patient, but with certain TPAs, with their system, they already put the limitation. For example, these drugs you only prescribe for this certain amount or certain period of time. That's why we have difficulties, especially in managing our panel's patient. Already presented with something like paperless system. Apart from that, it's quite very easy for patient. Whenever they come to my clinic, they use their phone and use the phone to attach to our PC, and then from there we can scan. They have all the data already, and then we also can see their history from the system itself. Apart from that, we can prescribe, and the consultation fees also is quite reasonable for us, and also the price of the medication or drugs is okay for us. And then quite easy, whenever everything also we press and then paperless, and also the payment term also very good. Sometimes we got the payment around, in fact, 1 month already we can get the payment, things like that. They developed the system so that it's very quite convenient for us.
Okay, MyTPA previously start when there is a problems among the general practitioner because of the problem created by so-called TPA, third-party administrator, because they are doing the fee splitting, and then also they are paying late to the general practitioner. So we come put a solution to the government at first. That was 2017, and then we provide a solution, so-called MyTPA, Medical Third Party Administrator. So this Medical Third Party Administrator provides the total solutions, includes the system within the mobile app that provide easy to use, and then easy to register using the QR code. So the patients, they don't have to bring some sort of identification or whatever. They don't have to bring the money, so they might as well just to show to the clinic their mobile apps inside the handphones, and then it will automatically register. And then after that, we provide a solution also for the panel clinics. Get to know the status of the claims that have been made by them, whether that approved, pending, or going for investigation. In such a case that the claim is to be considered like suspicious, it will go to the panel of advisor, and then the panel advisor will make a counter check whether that the claim is to be considered as a genuine claim or maybe fake claims. And then of course when the claim is recognized as a genuine claim, so it will pass the claim and then going for the payment. And then we promise to the general practitioner, our panel clinic will pay within 30 days after they make claims.
MyTPA services was created to benefit communities and corporations for financial healthcare management. However, is this relevant to the companies, staff members and panel clinics? How does Serba Dinamik's MyTPA take into account the demands and requirements of these parties so that it may benefit companies, their staff, as well as panel clinics? And what about the reputation of MyTPA in the market and the recognition it has received up till now?
The employer knows exactly how many people are not well today, how much he has to pay to the clinic, and when have to be paid. These are the information we'll provide from our system. So which, if it is a manual, you have no idea about it. So before, and then we also give an option to the employer, they can choose their payment terms as well. So, you know, like before, say, I can make it arrangement for my payments to this clinic or to our TPA. They know, okay, 30 days for them to pay. So how much they have to pay, and what are they can narrow down and see which employee went for what kind of basic treatment, why this particular has been provided. That's one part for the employer. And if you look at employee wise, he actually knows the history. What kind of tablet from has been taken, and what is the doctors actually told about this particular problem with him. And also another good thing is, let's say I was in somewhere and I don't know, I'm not well, and then I just want to find a clinic. So the mobile application tells the nearest panel clinic to him. So that will help him more interactively. And also now we have option for the families also get treated over here. So they have the family related packages as well provided into the system. And also in terms of we look at the other part, that means like we are talking about the clinics. So the doctors, what we normally provide is, right now there is issues with doctors. Especially when it comes to MCOs, the payments are not getting to it. And so what we try to provide is, we have given an option such as like say how much they can able to see how much we need to pay, what is the due for this them to be paid for them, and all these things can be eventually be viewed. And if there is some discriminatory kind of payments, they also can able to see from the system why it is and how long it will take to resolve this issue. So these are the advantage, and this is how all these parties have been benefited out of MyTPA is concerned. So currently, I would say we have around 500 work clinics, and we have, like as I told, like we have a few hospitals as well, and we have around 3,000 to 4,000 over employees currently inside the system. And we are also expanding this MyTPA into few individual related apps as well. So actually it is moving into different directions as well right now. So we see that in the next year we will be reaching almost like 1,000 over clinics, and we'll be having at least minimum 10 over hospitals and things into it. So it's quite moving aggressively and faster. It is actually registered with the Ministry of Health, because now you look at it, a lot of these third-party administrators have not registered with the Ministry of Health. So that is considered like a bit not regulated. So, but MyTPA is concerned, we have applied and then we have been went for presentation to them, we presented and we got accredited from them. So it is basically endorsed by the Ministry of Health that MyTPA is one of the MCOs who can able to provide this service.
The most special feature in the MyTPA is actually we providing the mobile apps that operating real-time situations. It means that once the patient attending the clinic, and then the submission from the panel clinic to our system, immediately the mobile app at the patient side will display the current status. It means that the deduction of the balance limit, and then also the type of medications, if they are getting the MC's medical certificate, and then also if, let's say, the claim is to be considered as suspicious, they will know, because our system already defined that status. And then also we also put the identification of the personal belonging. It means that who is the person that attached to the clinic, and then also whether that he is a the one that attend the clinic, or maybe perhaps his family attending the treatment.
Improve in terms of especially our cash flow, because before we use the MyTPA, our cash flow quite tight actually, because we need to wait for especially the third-party administrator to pay us. As for your information, that the drugs company that we purchase our drugs, so, they only give a term around 1 month. That's why it's quite difficult for us to roll for the cash flow. But whenever we have this kind of system, actually they really helps us in terms of so that we don't feel so struggle in this kind of economy. Definitely, it's really economical and cost cutting, because we don't have to use papers, and then as we need only PCs, and then we use patient's telephone as well, and then everything also we just click and then we get everything. All my colleagues out there, definitely I think you all need to endorse with this system, because nowadays we need to improve in terms of the way we are managing our clinics. With this type of gadget or with this type of system, it really helps, and then it's really especially in terms of our cash, it will help in terms of our cash flow.
When we come back next week, I will introduce you to more unique products from Serba Dinamik IT Solutions. Till then, I'm Jessie Chahal. See you in the next episode of In the Forefront.